This video will show you how to replace the front horn pad or airbag unit on a Chrysler Town Country. This will be mounted to your steering wheel. Let's get into it. This will help discharge any voltage from inside of the vehicle's system. We'll use a 10mm for each one of our mounting nuts. Loosen that just enough that you can remove the terminal end from the battery post. Now at this point, as I mentioned, we're going to connect both of these together. Just use a wire tie for that. There we are. Make sure those are not touching up against a battery post. Now after you've let your vehicle sit for approximately 15 minutes with those two cables connected together, that should discharge any capacitors located inside of the vehicle. So essentially there's no more voltage leading to our airbag system. Now we're going to start removing that horn pad. As far as that, we're going to have to turn the steering wheel in one direction or the other. You're going to find that there's 3 locking tabs located behind this area. Now you'll have one on either side, and you're going to have a third one down along the bottom. With that said, let's go ahead and turn this steering wheel so we can have a quick look. Now as I look, I can see that I do have a large hole, and inside of that large hole, there's a small metal clip. We're going to be using a long angled pick. As far as this long angled pick, we want to try to get underneath that metal tab, gently pry it up, and we should see the horn pad start pulling away from the steering wheel. We'll be repeating that process for all 3 of our metal clips. There we are. You can see that one has separated. Both of the upper areas have separated. Now that we have that separated, let's focus on disconnecting our 2 electrical connectors from the backside here. Now each one of these connectors does have a different color. You can tell one of them has a black area, the other one's only yellow. We don't want to mix these up. Now with that said, each one of these connectors is going to have 2 locking tabs, one on either side of the connector itself. I'm pressing in on one here, and then I'm just gently pulling up. While I'm lifting up on this, I'll go over to the other side and do the exact same thing. Now we can carefully disconnect the electrical connector. This is the black connector, and if you are looking closely, you should find that you have a black area inside there. Let's continue on to the next electrical connector, same process. Yellow and yellow. There it is, friend. Of course, we want to make sure we thoroughly inspect each one of our electrical connectors and just have a quick look in this area. Okay, let's prepare to install our front horn pad airbag unit. Let's start with the electrical connectors. As you remember during the removal process, I had mentioned that there's a black and a yellow, and we do not want to mix them up. As for each one of these connectors, we'll align them with the corresponding port and press them into position. Yellow to yellow, black to black. Double check to make sure each one of those is properly secured in place. Now it's time to reinstall that horn pad. So as you know, our steering wheel is upside down. Let's start bringing this in the proper placement here. We're attempting to align our locking clips with their corresponding areas, and then we're going to press this straight in towards our steering wheel. After that, we'll just double check to make sure it's completely seated all the way around. Under the hood, let's go ahead and reconnect each one of our battery terminals. We're going to be starting with the positive terminal first. We'll press that all the way down onto the battery as far as possible. Tighten the 10mm nut until it's nice and snug. Right there is bottomed out. We'll just take it a tiny bit further there. Double check. It should not move around in any way. Continue on to the negative battery terminal. Same process here. Just make sure it's nice and snug. Okay, right there. Just a tiny bit further, and it's secure. Okay, friend, we finished our installation. Now the next thing we need to do is test the functionality of the horn pad. For that, I'm just going to carefully press on the horn pad here. Perfect. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.